Good evening, everyone. It's great to have you all on board. It's another time with Futo Ayo, enthusiastic tutor. And in today's tutorial, it happens to be one of our Telegram classes on the course GST. I think it's actually the very first Telegram class we're having on GST201. We've been able to dissect this course on YouTube, which we have done about 40% of the course, and we restrict the 60% to members of our private class alone, where we come to the Telegram class to do some proper, some further dissecting of the course. So with me, I have Miss Favor and I have Miss Umi. I think others will join. Probably others will join before we wrap up for the class today. So this is how we do it. Students are expected to, I don't do much of the talking here anyways. Students are expected to have gone through the YouTube class, then have something down on their notes. Then we are going to be going by what has been taken, what has been gotten from the YouTube class. And as we go through that, take it one step at a time and we expand on things. So Miss Favor, I think Miss Louise not consistent with our response. Maybe it's the network or something. So let's start with Miss Favor. Miss Favor, so you can you have the floor. Please, if you can put on your video, fine. But you're not unable to put on your video, so it's okay. So please, can you walk us through what you have in your notes, please?
Okay, sir. Okay, is it what I wrote down, right?
Exactly, yes. As you were going through the class on YouTube, you know, the instruction was to take down something as you are going through the class. So let us know what you had there in your notes, please, starting from the very first volume of the course GST201.
Okay, sir. Firstly was we're talking about the Benin. So firstly you said the Benin is the first place visited by the Europeans as early as 1472 AD. So the first Europeans that visited African continent is the Portuguese, and their place of visit is Benin. This visit was during the reign of Ewuari. Should I go ahead? Hello, sir. Sir, should I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, please. I intentionally muted the mic because I realized that if I'm responding as you are talking, it will echo in the video. I've noticed that, and I'm using my speaker. So you see me mute my mic when you are talking. Okay, but I'll be doing it intermittently as you are talking. I'll be trying to unmute myself, but just go ahead, please.
So I should read everything I wrote down from the class, right?
No, it's not about reading. It's about explaining to us. You're not to read. You have to explain to us what you have there. You are the one teaching us now. You've gotten what we've given on YouTube. So you let us know what you were able to get. All right? Making it explanatory. Then I make my input as we all go together. That's the idea.
Okay, sir.
So from the very first volume, I think we talked about the Yorubas. You know, the GST201 course is about ethnicity. All right, it's about the culture, Nigerian people and culture, about the Nigerian people and their culture. All right, and I think we started with the Yorubas. So what do you have on the Yorubas? Don't forget we said there are how many ethnic groups? There are how many major ethnic groups in Nigeria?
3, sir.
All right, what did you say?
3.
Awesome. So we started with which one?
From the YouTube, it said with Benin.
Okay.
So there's some.
So what do you have on them,
Sir?
So what do you have on them?
Okay, for the Benin, they say the Benin is the first place visited by the Europeans as early as 1472 AD, and the first Europeans that visited the African continent is the Portuguese, and their place of visit is the Benin. This visit was during the reign of Ewuari. So the first visit was in 1472 and the second visit was in 1484. Edgar Boas version. So you spoke about
Man.
different kind of version of the Benin. One is the
Yes.
Edgar Boas version, and you
A
said
moment,
that these
please.
versions.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Also, now, according to the material and according to the YouTube video, I think we started with the Yorubas. After the Yorubas, we talked about the Igbo, the Hausa, the Kanem Bernun, and the likes. So, do you have anything of the different versions of the Yorubas? Speaking of Reverend Samuel Johnson's version, all right. Speaking of the Oke Orofen's version, speaking of the social political structure of the Yorubas, do you have anything on all this?
No, sir. The link that was sent to me said from the Benin.
Wow, 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 wow. That's a lot. Okay, okay. We should actually start from where you have there. So I think you need to do justice to the YouTube videos, but that's not a problem. So I think I'll leave that for you to figure out. So let's just focus on the Benin as we have said. So now, according to what you have said about the Benin, all right, when we talk about the Benins, there happens to be the what? The first set of ethnic group visited, all right, by the outsiders. Who do we refer to the outsiders? People who are not of African soil, all right? And these outsiders, they happens to be which country and in what year? Let's see what you have, please.
You said something. I did not get the last one, sir.
Yeah, I said these outsiders, we refer to them as the non-natives, all right? The people who are not, who do not emanate from African soil. Now, so I asked, who were this first set of people to visit the soil, all right, the African soil, and in what year? And you can take it up from there.
Okay. The people that visited it was the Benin in 1472 AD.
Okay, so who are these people that visited Benin in 1472 AD?
The Europeans.
Awesome. The Europeans, do you mind being specific? Who are these Europeans that visited?
Portuguese.
I believe you have this
Portuguese,
in your
sir.
book.
Yes, sir.
The Portuguese. The Portuguese. All right? The
Yes,
Portuguese.
sir.
And a name was made mention of. A name. There was a name that was made mention of. All of this we thought on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please, what's that name?
Ewuare.
Now, the Benin happens to be the first African soil where we had Europeans to visit in AD, in 1472 AD, which you have established. And when we talk about AD, we are talking about Anno Domini. Hope you are aware of that.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you come across the name Roy?
Hello, sir. I know. Can't hear you again. Hello, sir. can't hear you again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Was the thing from the internet, from the network. I mean. So now, did you hear of the name Roy there, Sequoia? Did I mention that name on YouTube?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now, should I spell the name? That is R-U-Y. Are you with me?
Okay. Yes, sir.
R-U-Y-D-E
Yes, sir.
S-E
Yes, sir.
Q-U
Yes, sir.
E-I-R-A. A
EIRA.
Portuguese name. Yes. Q-U-E-I-R-A.
So, sir, can you come again? RUYDES.
Yes, then space. Then space. After that R-U-Y, you give a space. You give some space. Then you put D-E. After writing D-E, then you give some space. Then you write
Okay.
S-E-Q-U-E-I-R-A.
Okay, sir.
I'm intentional about this because you never can tell, all right, where the question
So,
is
what's
coming
the
from.
for this? What you just spelled for me is related
What
to
did,
which question, sir?
what did you say, ma?
What you just spelled out is related to which question?
I didn't get that.
You just spelled out something for me. Like the word now is related to what, sir?
Now, yes, this Roy de Sequoia happens to be, all right, the Portuguese, all right, a Portuguese that arrived on the soil, all right, on the African soil during, all right, a Juarez reign. Now, a Juarez now is in the picture because it happens to be the supreme ruler, all right, the first supreme ruler that welcomed the Europeans on the soil of Africa. Do you understand now? Because you made mention of Iware the other time, but you actually skipped the name of the Portuguese. All right, more like the head. He was one that led his team. Okay, and Iware happens to be the first supreme ruler to welcome the Europeans on the soil of the Africa, and this happens to be in the year 1472. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So you can continue.
Okay, sir. So you on the YouTube can spoke on the first visit was in 1472. Then the second visit was in 1484.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I don't like the way you are putting it. You are putting like you are reading, you are reciting. I don't like the way you are putting it. After the first visitation, by who? By Reo de Sequoia during Eware's reign. The next visitation happens to be by who? Who did the next visitation after 1472 visitation?
You not get the name that did the second visitation.
What's the name of the Portuguese?
Red Sequoia.
Pronounce it well, ma. That was the first visitation in 1472. Miss Wumi, are you with us? Miss Wumi,
Yes, sir.
are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Good. Please. I think I'm following Miss Favor back to back too much. Let me give her a break. Let me shift to you. So after the first visitation by Ro de Secoria in 1472 AD, the second visitation was by who? You can take it up from there, ma.
The second visitation.
Do you have your notes there?
Yes, sir.
Do you know where we are at the moment?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to.
I thought you were following.
I also the spelling.
I'm finding it difficult to hear you.
I also the spelling, sir.
Okay.
The
Now let
spelling is equal to ALFONSO.
yes. Thank you. Now pronounce it out, man.
Alfosodi Avero.
The second
Okay.
person that visited.
Nice. Miss Favor, are you with us now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the second visitation after that of the 1472 visitation was done by Alfonso de Aveiro.
Sir, please, can you
Are
spell
we
it?
good? Alfonso is spelled ALFONSO. That is Alfonso.
Okay, sir.
Some space, then you put DE. Some space, then you write Aveiro. That's AVIERO.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. Now, Alfonso, the Aveiro visitation was in what year? And it was during which person's reign? Please,
1484.
Miss Wumi,
Was in
yes, Miss Wumi, you can continue from here.
The year is 1484.
Wonderful. During which person's reign?
Alfonso the Avero.
That is the Portuguese that visited. Who was the person? Who was the ruler then when he visited? Just like we have a Juarez time. All right, Alfonso time. Who was the great king then? Who was the supreme ruler in Benin?
Osola.
Yes, Ozolao. Very good, very good. Yes, please continue, ma'am. Continue.
The Egbaraba fashion.
Please, can you please spell the Osola? For the second visit.
OZ. Are you there?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
OZLUA.
OZLUA.
Yes.
So for the Rhodesequarine is Oluwarami.
Yes.
Are we good?
Yes, sir, we are good.
Awesome. Before Miss Wumi talks, we'll be talking about the Egbaris version. There's something she has not made mention of. Now, one thing we need to understand here that the Benin
The
happened to
Benin
be,
Kingdom,
you know,
the first
yes.
West Coast of Africa.
So you had it there. Why did you jump it, man?
Sorry, sir.
They happened to be the first west coast of African to exchange ambassadors
It's a
with
major
a major colonial power, which is the Portuguese. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So all of this happened. Please, who is the speaker there? All of this happened between 1481 to 1504. Okay, so please let's take note of that. Trade that the major trading that happened between the Portuguese and the Benin all happened between 1481 to 1504. So, Miss Wumi, what do you have to say about the Egba Varese version?
Okay. It said the Benin people emigrated from Egypt. Are you there, sir?
Is that all you have on it?
And in the course of their journey, southward settled at Ile-Ife.
Can you explain what this means, ma'am?
Just like it claims that the Benin people emigrated from Egypt. Maybe they came from Egypt.
Awesome, awesome. Miss Favor, do you have anything on this? What?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, yeah. Can I hear what please, what do you have on it, please?
Okay, the Egharu Ubas version. This version says the Benin people immigrated from the Egypt and their course of journey to the southward settled at Ile-Ife.
So now, according to this version of the history of the Benin people, okay, this is an interpretation of the history, the genesis of the Benin people. This version called the
Sir, I want to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, this Benin, is it also spelled out Benin? Or why is it just Bini?
It's because that's the name they are using from centuries. That's the old Benin.
Thank you
Okay.
very much for that, man. It is the
But still
ancient
that
Benin.
Benin, that's the same Benin we know about, right?
Miss Favor, are we good? So it is this ancient Benin that metamorphosed, or should I use the word transited into what we now know as Benin.
Okay, sir.
Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So this Egbares version, please note, Egbares version is intentional about tracing down the genesis of the Benin to migrants. It referred to as the Benin people as migrants, all right, or should I call them immigrants from Egypt? All right, they are immigrants from Egypt. So coming from Egypt, they headed southward. Okay, heading southward, they settled down at Ile-Ife. Straightforward and precise. The Egbares version says it. We also have the next version, which is Igbafe's version. What do you have on that, Miss Favor?
Okay, sir. The Igbafe's version, Bini itself is someone's name. Bini itself is someone's name, and it happens to be the youngest child who is referred to as Osarobua, meaning high god.
What did you call the name, please?
Igbafe's version. Osanobua.
You need to pronounce these words correctly because you might have issues when you want to them. Do you understand me, ma'am? Osanobua.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Osanobua.
And what is the translation in English?
High god.
High God.
No. That's wrong. Miss Wumi, what is the translation in English?
High God.
Thank you. The translation in English is not I God. It is the I God or Sanobua. Please continue, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So you spoke about something. About
Yes, please.
bed advice to snail shell, to sand, and to land on water. I don't know where that was from. Bed advice to snail shell, to sand, and land on water.
Are you trying to explain to us, or are you explaining to us, or you are reciting? Please, I'm lost, ma'am. Miss Favor, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you explaining to us, or because I'm lost, ma'am?
So I'm explaining.
Okay, please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're trying to explain something from inside the YouTube class, saying that it's from bed advice to snail shell to sand, then to land on water. I can't remember where this is coming from. That's what I jotted down.
Miss Favor, when you go through YouTube classes, do you go through them with a divided attention?
No, sir.
So why are you having difficulties explaining this version to us? Because this course, most especially, is the most interesting course you are doing this semester. The most interesting, because this is the history of where we all emanate from as Africans, precisely Nigerian. So if you are explaining your genesis, if we are explaining our history like we are explaining the history of what happened in the United States, it doesn't go down well with me. All right? The YouTube classes, like I said earlier, if we are going through them, I want us to go through them with 100% of our focus. Now, this version you are trying to explain to us is the version of Egbares, all right? Egbares version, and this is the version of Igbafe. That's Igbafe's version, I mean. And it's just about how Benin, who happens to be the youngest son of Osanobua, who is the high god, whereby Benin and his brothers, all right, including the king of Ife, were sent to live in the world. That means, according to this version, they were not living in the world. This is how I expect us to be explaining these things. It only takes someone who has gone through that YouTube video, like, not just watch it like I watch Z Word. I'm sorry to say, or watch your favorite program. It's supposed to go through you. This is how you can, no matter how they want to put a question in the exam, if you can go through it the way I'm explaining to you, you are good to go. Igbare's version is just about Benin happened to be the youngest son of Osanoba, and he was sent down here on earth with him and his brothers, including the king of Ife. Benin here, like we said earlier, is the youngest. So on their way coming, he was advised by a bird. All right? The bird instructed him to pick up a snail. All right? That on their way going, that he will find a snail. All right? Not just any kind of snail. It's actually a snail shell. All right? It's a snail shell. If he's going with his brothers to go and live in the world, they are just going to the world. They don't even know what the world look like. So this bird now, we were not given the details, all right? But according to the material, the bird advised him to pick up a snail shell. So what he did, as he was instructed, probably he exercised some doubt, because he was like, why do I need the snail shell for? We don't know. So as at then, the world was covered with water. All right? The world was covered with water. So how do you live on water when you are not a marine species? We're not told details. So following the instruction from the bird, now we are being particular about the youngest son, which is Benin. The bird has instructed him that overturn the snow, that I should overturn the snail shell. All right, whereupon that sand will come out from it. All right, and that sand will what? Will cover a large part of the water and form land. He followed the instruction, and that was how land came. And because of that, he was able to build a kingdom called Benin, according to the Egbafes version. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
We have just 8 minutes left. Miss Wumi, can you walk us through the Ogisos version? So now, just before we walk us through it, Miss Wumi, so please note the key points in all this version. Okay, the Egbare version just said that they are immigrants. Benin's are immigrants from Egypt, and they settled in Ile-Ife. But the Egbare's version is one that has a lot of details, and the detail is about the youngest son called Benin, who was advised by a bird to pick up a shell. Just understand, get the key points, and that's it. So what do you have on the Ogisos version, Miss Wumi, before our time runs out?
Okay, what I have is the keys of the sky. Keys of the sky. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I'm with you, man. We are listening.
Okay, then, and the first period of pre-colonial Benin history is known as the Ogiso era. And this is because their rulers were the Ogisos. And the fourth Ogiso was known as Ibodo. And he was succeeded by a Ire. That's what I have, sir.
Thank you very much. Even though you did not explain to us, so it feels like you are just helping us read it out. Probably in our subsequent classes, we will understand it better. Okay, Miss Favor, what do you have there, ma?
For for the Ogiso, it
Yes,
means
ma.
the of this king. It means kings of sky, and the first Ogiso was known as Ibido, and the last Ogiso was called Wodo.
Okay, can you hear me, Miss Favor? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, can you now relate all what you have said? Can you now relate it and use it to explain to us the history of the Benin according to this version?
Okay, sir.
Because you said king of the
Okay.
sky and you mentioned some name. So can you please now explain to us, because we are talking about the history of the Benins according to different versions,
Yes, sir.
all right? How the
Yes, sir.
Benin came into being. So now according to this version, how did they come into being?
Okay, sir. So I'm talking about the Ogiso version. The Ogiso version. It also means kings of the sky. And the first Ogiso was known as Igbido. The first Ogiso was known as Igbido, and the last Ogiso was called Owodo.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Miss Wumi,
Yes,
can you
sir.
please explain how this version talks about the history of the Benin people?
It just said like it's the first period of pre-colonial Benin history. And hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am, we are listening, ma'am.
And it says history tells us that Owodo was an
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. In our next class, Miss Wumi and Miss Favor, I'll be very intentional. I'll be very particular about you because I am expecting serious improvement from us in our next class. I'm not pleased by our I'm not pleased by our response in this class tonight. So if there is need for you to go back and go through these videos, go back and go through it and have a proper understanding. Now, this version, all right, this version of the Benin people is intentional and particular about the Ogiso era. Now, according to this Ogiso version, Ogiso era is the era whereby Benin people were made. Benin people came into light. Okay? Now, these Benin people, in quote, are referred to Ogisos. All right? And these Ogisos, in quote, are referred to the king of the skies. Okay? Now, this king of the sky, they are the ancestors, according to this version called the Ogiso version. The king of the skies, known as the Ogisos, were the ancestors, the creators of the Benin people. Now, they started their history, all right? The making of these people, great people, started with the first Ogiso, all all right, the first king of the sky that walked here on earth, all right, it happens to be Igbodo. Who is the first Ogiso?
Igbodo.
So is it Igbodo?
Miss Ma?
IGBI.
Miss Favor, you asked the question. I didn't get that.
I wrote the spelling. Is the spelling IGBIDO or IGBODO? Is it Igbodo or Igbodo?
No, it's Igbodo. That's IGBO, then DO.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. So Igbodo happens to be the first king of the sky, all right, to lead the people of Benin, all right, to start the genesis of people of Benin here on earth, all right. And after the great job that Igbodo did, he was succeeded, all right, by Ere. So we can say the second king of the sky happens to be Ere, all right, followed by the third, which is Orire. Okay, then we have the last Ogiso, which is Owodo. Now, history tells us that Owodo was the one that clashed with nobles and eventually became a victim of intrigues of his wife. Okay, so that means Owodo was unable to manage his marital life, and this led to some, all right, clashes between him and his nobles. Okay, his nobles here we are referring to as his assistant, more like the councils of chief. Okay, so please note that among all the Ogisos we've made mention of, only one of them had issue with his nobles, and this person happens to be who?
Owodo.
This person happens to be who? Okay, awesome. So we call it wrap here for tonight. So please and please, we are going to take it off. We're supposed to start from the Igbo in our next class, but we'll have to talk about the Yoruba first. So I think you can cover the volume 2, 3, and 4 of GST201 before our next class. The link is sent to the group already. But if you cannot find a link on the group, just go to Google and type in GST201 classes, then put GST201 classes, then put GST201 classes. Okay. So just go to What is using the speaker? Please shut the speaker. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Miss Rumi. Thank you, Miss Favor. Do have a wonderful night rest. I look forward to seeing you all in subsequent tutorials. Bye for now.
In the next class.